Assalamualaikum dan hai. Anda bersama saya sekali lagi dalam slot CI Try to Stream episod 2. Okey, kali ni adakah saya ingin main lagi game Utapri? Oh tidak. Kali ni saya nak main game dari Steam yang bertajuk Your Smile Beyond Twilight. Game ni saya dah lama beli, tapi yang baru sekarang saya nak try main sebabkan laptop saya ada masalah. So saya terpaksa uninstall Steam sebelum ni, tapi ya, baru semalam saya install balik. Yelah, beli game banyak-banyak tak main, nak buat apa, bazir kan. Tapi kebanyakan game sebenarnya lah visual novel. Saya amat suka main visual novel sebab kita boleh pilih jalan cerita yang kita nak dan ending yang kita nak. Walaupun tak sepatutnya kita nak pun ending tu sebab kadang-kadang mengecewakan juga. Tapi ada juga sejenis novel yang dipanggil kinetic novel, iaitu kita hanya baca cerita. Dia seolah-olah macam buku bergambar. Okey, untuk Your Smile Beyond Twilight ni, saya baru main semalam dan saya pun tak apa tahu kisahnya kecuali awal-awal ni dia menunjukkan cerita kita, MC kita iaitu Yunshan balik semula ke kampung halamannya setelah berhenti kerja bersama-sama seorang wanita iaitu teman wanitanya yang dipanggil sebagai Jingxuan. Oh, bukan MC ni, Yunshan. Saya keliru nama dekat-dekat. Kalau saya salah sebut, saya tak maaf sebab saya tak biasa dengan bahasa Cina. Oh, lagi satu. Saya terpaksa buat video stream ni dalam BM dan mungkin saya terus dalam BM sebab saya tak biasa nak bercakap BI. Saya dah cuba tapi masih pak. Okey, anda faham kan? Okey, balik pada cerita kita. Saya sendiri tak ingat sama ada sejenis visual novel iaitu kita boleh memilih ending dia nanti ataupun tanda kinetic novel. Tapi saya ingin bawa anda melihat jalan ceritanya bersama saya dan saya akan komen lah apa yang saya rasa nak komen. Okey, mari kita lihat. Oh, satu lagi, video game ini adalah bahasa daripada Cina tapi telah dilocalize kan, so dapat dalam English. Maafkan saya banyak sangat senasul. Anda boleh dapatkan di Steam. Tak silap saya harga dia murah je, tapi tetaplah nanti anda tengok je lah Your Smile Beyond Twilight. Mari kita mulakan. Next stop, Bahagian Station. We ask that all passengers prepare for a timely and orderly arrival.
快到站了，云山。单程才1个小时，来回也用不了多少时间呢。
Yeah.
偶尔回家看看，你家里人也会很开心的吧？
Picking up on my indifference, the prim and proper black-haired lady silently sits next to me wearing a guilty expression. Noticing her change in attitude, I quickly turn to her to make amends with a forced smile on my face. Hey, don't worry about it. What you said was right. I'm the one in the wrong.
可是你都不理我了。对不起，不该说那些事的。
Jingxuan, if anyone had to apologize, it would definitely be me.
你真是。
This girl named Jingxuan is seemingly bound to me by the red string of fate. Same university, same major, same classes. We usually ended up in the same groups for group assignments. After graduation, we were even assigned to the same department at the same company. And then, exactly 6 years after we met, we both turned in our resignations on the same day. We should get ready to go, Jingxuan. Seemingly infected by my own forced smile, Jingxuan managed to recover her usual bright demeanor. Looking out the window, I saw that the flowing pastoral landscape had already been replaced by the shadows of looming buildings. I wonder if Jingxuan has actually cheered up or if she's simply putting up a front for my sake. But the cold yet eerily calm view outside frees me in place to this eternal point in time. I guess I'll ponder over this later. The train stopped. Stepping onto the platform, I am greeted by a familiar yet unsettling rush of warm air. I guess this is the smell of my hometown.
空气真的好清新啊！
Unlike me who left the train with a whole slew of confused emotions, the city girl Jingxuan immediately takes to this idyllic rural area and enjoys the unpolluted environment of the countryside. If there's one thing the metropolis can't beat, it's how fresh this air is. However, aside from the fresh air, everything else would make any city person immediately buy an express ticket back to the city. If you really intend on staying here for a while, you seriously need to brace yourself.
知道了，玉山，你在出发前就说了无数遍了。
But I guess if it's you, there shouldn't be a problem.
什么意思？
Forget it. Let's get going. By the time we arrived at the exit, the train behind us had already pulled out of the station. 6 years ago, when I left for the city on the track running the other way, I told myself that I would be just like that train, never reversing course until I accomplished what I set out to do. Looking back, I realized my so-called resolve was filled with nothing but empty nonsense and pig-headedness. A familiar figure stands just outside the station. The fact that she is all by herself gives my heart a sobering pang. Looking around as if trying to find someone, her eyes lock in on us as we leave the station. She lifts her head and beams an excited, radiant smile. I still have such a deep, clear impression of her even after 6 years apart.
玉山，那位阿姨，
Yes, she's my mother.
果然呢，
You what?
伯母的笑容跟雨山你一模一样啊。
Is that so?
没错。
Seeing that mother is on the verge of tears, Jingxuan and I head over together to greet her. After a cursory introduction, we leave for my childhood home walking side by side. The order from left to right is Jingxuan, my mom, then me. I'm not sure how exactly we ended up this way. This is the first time Jingxuan has met my mother, and yet those two are making small talk like old friends. In comparison, I'm having quite a lot of trouble keeping up with their tempo. If a passerby were to see us, they would definitely think that it was a thick night mother-daughter pair plus a stranger in tow.
Hey Yunshan,
Yes, mom?
this girl, is she your girlfriend?
Even after 6 years apart, mother jumped straight into interrogating me with an expectant look on her face. In any case, her question is perfectly natural given the situation. No mother under the sun can ever get enough of this soft stuff, especially if the prospect is a woman as beautiful and capable as Jingxuan, with whom I seem to be getting along well. As far as I know, any mother would want a wonderful girl like her as her daughter-in-law.
It's because she's your girlfriend that you're taking her here, right?
Well,
Surely you're not going to say you're just friends or something.
阿姨，我是允善的女朋友啦。
while I fumble for a reply, a certain onlooker jumps right into our not-so-discreet mother-son conversation. Jingxuan's straight answer prompts mother to redirect her attention back to the source of her anticipation.
Really, Jingxuan?
当然啦，对吧，允善？
Well, although it's already hard to outright say something like this, the main reason for my hesitation is my lack of confidence in saying it to mother in particular. However, Jingxuan is indeed my girlfriend. It's just that our relationship only officially started after we left the company. Because of that, there is a subtle awkwardness lingering between us. It's not that I don't like her or something, I honestly do. Let's be clear. Over the past 6 years, there has been no girl I like more than Jingxuan. That much is irrefutable. But ever since we met, I had only poured my heart and soul into fighting on and furthering my career. This left me very little room to give any thought to this beast called romance. And yet, when I failed to get the results I wanted and was shamefully ousted from the arena, I received an out-of-the-blue confession from Jingxuan and suddenly became one half of a plainly baffling couple. I've liked you ever since university. Jingxuan has always emphasized and made sure I felt her sincerity, and yet, after being dismissed from my job and realizing my own incompetence and fragility, I couldn't help but wonder why a girl like her would ever be with a loser like me.
啊，这个小镇给人的感觉很温馨呢。
But compared to the city, there are many things lacking here, Jingxuan.
大都市有的也不都是好东西嘛，比如说生活压力啦、环境问题啦。
Yeah, Jingxuan is right. Looking around right now, the stillness of this small town with its roads devoid of traffic or even other pedestrians really does soothe the mind. But even though the gentle rural scenery hasn't changed much in the past 6 years, it now feels completely foreign to me. I know why though. What changed was not the setting around me, but rather myself. Although I guess it would be more accurate to say that I was changed.
Yunshan, if you're feeling tired of city life, why don't you move back here? I asked around and found out that a teacher at your old school is retiring. If you want to take that position...
No, Mom.
Yunshan.
I came back with Jingxuan to pay my respects for you and Dad along with sorting out our emotions. I cannot deny that I feel like the city I yearn for since my youth has forsaken me, stabbed me right through the heart. But I also have to come to terms with the insignificance of my existence. Come to terms with the fact that I am mediocre as I am arrogant. I also have to accept that my only choice is to stand back up where I fall. If a child transferred schools just because of a few punches from a bully, how would they ever deal with the way that the society will beat them down? Those who try to escape reality simply stop maturing. It may well be that I'll never achieve anything meaningful or monumental back in the city, but as long as I can survive, there isn't any problem.
阿姨不用担心啦，还有我陪在允山的身边呢。
That's right, my future daughter-in-law will be there.
Mom, she hasn't even agreed to sign anything yet.
允山，你的意思是不打算娶我吗？
No, that's not what I mean.
你跟我之间原来就只是玩玩而已吗？没想到你是这种人。
Jingxuan lowers her head and covers her face as she starts sobbing. No, let me explain.
开玩笑的啦。你就算是允善，要是不像样的来求婚的话，我也是不会嫁给你的。
Why you?
允善，你笑了。
It's an ironic smirk, okay?
不管，反正是笑了。
A jolly smile plays on her lips. This girl has always been like this. Responsible, diligent, humble. Even if she ever had every reason to look down on someone, she would never do such a thing. She always made an effort to hit it off with those around her. Jingxuan and my pastor were really polar opposites. Intriguingly, those two people end up writing their joint love story together. If this girl is willing to join me on my life passage, I really need to make sure that I thank her properly someday for her companionship through all this time.
She's saying that if you make a real effort to propose, she'll marry you. Better get a move on.
Mom, caught up in our idle chatting, we arrived before we know it. This is the place I left 6 years ago and still fondly think back to. Home.
Honey, Yunshan is back.
Hey Dad, I'm back. After changing into slippers and entering the house, Mother lets us to Father's room. My parents are farmers, as were my grandparents. Born in a peasant family and having become peasants, their rooms are frugal as you would expect. There's a vintage double bed, a nightstand, a chair and electric fan. With only these bare necessities, there is a nearly tangible void in the room yearning to be filled. The one difference from 6 years ago is the frame picture on the nightstand. It's a black and white photograph of a man. Around half a year ago, my father passed away.
叔叔，不好意思，第一次见面却只能以这样的形式跟你打招呼。
Jingxuan, it's okay. It's out of your control, so don't fret it. What's more, he left this world peacefully. It was as if he was just falling asleep.
What an intimate way to come to terms with one's mortality. Mother's silent message was clear from her lukewarm smile. The year I turned 5, my father was diagnosed with chronic heart disease. The doctor said that although medicine could control the symptoms, the only way to cure it was through a surgery that we couldn't afford. And so father shook his head to turn down the procedure. He told us that even if he were cured this time, there would always be a day when his heart disease would strike back. He wanted us to use the money to make his eventual death easier. It was hard to listen to, but no one in our family could really say anything in opposition. Of course it isn't your fault, Jingxuan. Rather, it's mine.
Yunshan,
Dad, I'm sorry. I couldn't see you one last time. Right there, in front of Mother and Jingxuan, I fell to my knees in front of Father's picture and bowed my head down to the floorboard.
允山，你别这。
Jingxuan,
阿姨，
just let him be, Jingxuan.
阿姨，
This is the only way for Yunshan to show his guilt to his father. I was too prideful. I told myself I couldn't come back without a few achievements under my belt. I'm so sorry, Dad. Whether or not I achieve anything, I should have taken the time to visit my own parents. Sorry, Father. About half a year ago, Mother called me to say that Father's health was in decline and that I should return home to see him. Who knows when he might suddenly go? This has been the status quo in my family for years, an uncomfortable truth hanging over our heads. However, at that time I had an important ongoing project. If I dropped out to take time off from work, it was possible that I would lose the possibility of a promotion for years to come. I chose to bite the bullet and visit him after finishing the project. Perhaps I will accomplish something I can be proud of and return home with my head held high, but perhaps remain as just an unexplored possibility. After a good performance on that project, I tried to carry the momentum onto a new bigger project. Just like in some sort of second-rate television drama, my hubris caused my college to turn against me and eventually also resulted in the project falling apart. After so many hard years of crawling forward alone, I was forced to take sole responsibility for the failure and resign from the company. As a son, I also lost my chance to ever see Father that one last time.
Yunshan, stand up.
After who knows how long, I feel my mother tap on my shoulder. My legs are already stiff from numbness.
Yunshan, 起来了。
When I don't respond, Jingxuan grabs onto my arm and roughly pulls me to my feet. Once I'm up, Jingxuan supports my shaking body.
Yunshan, you and Jingxuan should come with me to sweep the tomb tomorrow.
The tomb? You mean Dad's?
Yes, since you're already here, let's go clean it up a bit.
Sure.
Alright, you two go upstairs and rest up. I've been cleaning, so it should be tidy. I'll go cook dinner and call you when it's ready.
阿姨，我来帮你吧。
No, you and Yunshan should really take a break. Traveling by train can be tiring.
哪有这么夸张啦？还没有在城里搭公交车久呢。让我来帮忙吧。
Jingxuan, you are such a nice young lady. For my son Yunshan to meet you is our family's blessing.
阿姨，你真是的，别这样说啦，我会害羞的。
Once again, acting exactly like a loving mother-daughter pair, the two left the room. The depressing atmosphere was cleared out by Jingxuan in the blink of an eye. If I didn't have this girl at my side, who knows what I would have done when I was dismissed from the company. Compared to my thinly veiled weakness, Jingxuan hid her indomitable strength beneath her cheery exterior. Dad, is me finding such a wonderful girl all thanks to your blessings? If Father was still here, Jingxuan would help Mom cook dinner while Father and I sit at the table to admire the view outside the window and reminiscence about old times and gossip about everyday happenings. Not long ago, I lacked any interest in that kind of plain lifestyle, and yet how my heart now rings just thinking about it. Maybe becoming a part of society really does result in this kind of abnormal change.
哇，阿姨烧的饭菜真是好吃啊！你都可以自己开一家餐馆了吧？肯定会很有人气的。
That's what I always tell her, but Mom says that her cooking is reserved for just family and friends.
That's right. If you like it, be sure to dig in.
阿姨果然是一个好母亲呢。
Yep. After dinner, Mother heads to a nearby store to buy supplies for tomorrow's storm sweeping after thoroughly rebuking our request to accompany her. I figure the best thing to do is to bring Jingxuan to my room to unwind. Entering my room, Jingxuan dives headfirst onto my bed and immediately continues her songs of praise for tonight's dinner. I take a seat on the edge and use my laptop to aimlessly surf the web for who knows what. Recently, a fiber optics cable project finally connected this small town to the rest of the world. Mother doesn't use the internet herself, meaning she signed up on a plan just for me. You could say that this is a bit of a waste. But I understand that this is a result of Mother's good intentions. For an internet addict like me, a fiber optics plan would allow me to feel right at home if I came to visit from time to time. Surely, this is what she's thinking. Knowing her true feelings on this, I'm not really sure I have the heart to bring this issue up with her.
说起来啊，雨善，今晚做饭的时候，我听伯母说，你跟爸爸的关系一直都不太好呢。
That's basically how it was. I bet you're disappointed, right?
怎么会呢？后来他还说了，你们是天底下最关心彼此的父子。
That's also true. Well, my father was a farmer his whole life. He knew that he wasn't going to accomplish anything huge, and yet he immersed himself in his work to raise his family. But I felt that only after making it in the big city can a boy earn the right to call himself a man. He and I had different principles, so a lot of the time we couldn't understand each other. The most obvious divide was that while he ardently loved Tang Yin, I could barely wait to get out of here. The thing is, our disagreements never really changed how we felt about each other. Even though I didn't come back all this time, I would send money and gifts back home and call him to check up. Dad would also always pester Mom about sending me vegetables from back home.
原来如此。
But I only realize now, no matter how much money I sent home, no matter how many calls I made, it couldn't beat coming back to check in even once.
云山，
Sensing the self-hatred in my words, Jingxuan rights herself and makes her way behind me. She throws her arms around my neck and whispers in a tone even softer than her gentle embrace.
一直纠结于过去也是无补于事的。
Yeah, I know.
而且你跟你爸爸感情这么好，他也一定能体谅你的。
But Jingxuan, I couldn't see him that one last time. This is something I can't ever forgive.
这的确是你的不对呢。所以从今往后，你应该多回家照顾一下妈妈，就算为那件事做的补偿吧。
Then, what about you? You don't need me there for you?
你说呢？
It just feels like watching over you became my duty.
我是希望这变成义务啦。
Jingxuan pressed her face against me. I am not sure if she's trying to push me off my guilt through physical force or if she's just expressing her joy. If this were any other time, I would undoubtedly refuse this kind of intimate contact. But right now, in the serenity of this moment, I become all but intoxicated by her mere touch. Jingxuan, how would you feel if, after saving enough money, we move back here together?
乐意之极。
For such a long time, I couldn't stand to be here in this small town for even a second longer. Yet now, I feel like spending a lifetime here with her wouldn't be so bad. Okey, itu saja untuk bahagian pertama. Oh, ya Allah, tu aku penatnya nak baca. Okey, saya tak buat tak, tapi saya nak bacakan untuk anda lah. Sebab yelah, visual novel ni lebih banyak kepada membaca. Jadi kalau saya tak baca, nak ketulah pun baik saya tak boleh tunjuk dekat anda semua kan. So, buat setakat ni, apa yang saya dapat simpulkan lah cerita ni, MC ni, Yunshan ni, dia balik ke kampung setelah 6 tahun bekerja di bandar. Kali ni dia balik dengan girlfriend dia, yang nama apa? Jingxuan. Balik ke rumah dan dia rasa sedih sebab ayah dia dah meninggal dan dia waktu tu dia berdegil tak mau balik sebab dia tengah uruskan projek besar. So adalah rasa sedih kat sini. Bagi anda semua, tolonglah jangan abaikan mak ayah anda sampai macam tu sekali. Dengan kerana ego anda nak berjaya, anda sanggup lupakan mak ayah anda walaupun anda tahu. Macam kisah MC tadi, dia tahu ya ayah dia sakit, tapi sebab dia terlalu degil, ego berkeras nak bawa balik kejayaan untuk mak ayah dia banggakan. Akhirnya dia kehilangan satunya peluang untuk bertemu dengan ayah dia buat kereta akhir. Tapi saya suka apa Jingxuan ni nampak macam perempuan yang baik lah. Saya tak tahulah untuk saya belum main lagi slow ni. Nanti saya akan buat video baru. Ada ke lagi watak perempuan lain dalam ni? Sama ada ini adalah cerita kinetic novel atau visual novel. Dan yang manakah yang saya akan pilih, sama ada nak pilih route ni atau route ni kalau ialah visual novel lah. Jadi tunggu semua itu dalam video saya seterusnya. Video stream saya seterusnya ya. Okey, terima kasih kerana menonton CI Try to Stream. Jumpa lagi. Bye.